Hi guys, my name is Jeton and I will be holding the last talk of this presentation. And my two topics today are the advances in UIKit animations and transitions in iOS 10, and also I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to make your apps adaptive. So let's start with animations first. So how did this work before? Basically, how you do this is you would have animate with duration, and you would pass a block to it where you change some property on your view. And of course, the iOS animation engine would interpret this and would interpolate this value from start to end smoothly. Of course, you could use the timing functions to control the acceleration of your animation. You have, for example, ease in, ease out, or ease in out control there. And also, sometimes when you would have to build interruptible animations, it would be problematic by doing them natively, so you would have to employ some kind of external library, for example, like Facebook's Pop. But now, let's see what's new in iOS 10, how we can actually make this easier. In iOS 10, we have this new object, actually this new class, UIVIEWCONTROLLER. And of course, because this is a class and you instantiate an object from this, you can pass it around. You can do much more stuff than you would with only one block of code. Also, cool things that this allows us is to make our animations interactable. You can start, stop, pause them, and you can reverse or add other animations on the fly, and it will transition smoothly like you meant it to. Also, we can define our timing functions as cubic functions via Bezier curves. So there's actually a constructor for the timing function which takes two control points and interpolates that acceleration function of your animation based on that. Also, springs can now be defined via actual physical vectors instead of damping velocity, the constructor that was before. So you now have X and Y coordinates, and you can have kind of like what the spring does in real life. Also, this wouldn't be that powerful if we couldn't use it in UIViewController transitions. So fortunately, it works really well with your property animator. There's a new method in the transitioning delegate that's called interruptible animator, where you can pass this animator, and you can really easily build your UIViewController transitions. Also, another thing, UI%-driven interactive transition gives a lot of things to you out of the box, so that also works nicely with all of these new APIs, and of course, this will make it even easier for us to make our apps beautiful using these transitions. A couple of useful trivia about animations. So, as I mentioned before, animations are now interactable. So there's improved hit testing, because before the animation would happen instantaneously. You would just see it interpolate, but it would actually happen immediately. Now you can hit test that animation while it is being executed. There's support for keyframe animations with the new APIs. You can add these animations to that UIView property animator, and it will work. Also, you can have two pop gesture recognizer with ViewController transitions. If you implement the gesture recognizer delegate method, you can kind of switch between those behaviors, which I think is kind of cool that you can do now. So that's it about the animation topic. And again, I would encourage you not only to watch this video, but also download Xcode 8 and play around with these new APIs, because I think it's going to be making our lives much easier as developers. So let's move on to the making the apps adaptive part. Main thing to take out of this presentation is to use traits and size classes. And size classes are actually a subset of the traits of the system. And we should base our layout on the available space and not the orientation and adaptation, because we have different devices, we have different orientations. On iPad you can multitask, so there's also that adaptation. And you really shouldn't do any calculation there, but you should let the system handle most of the work for you. Also, you should keep in mind that the size class describes the user experience. So with size classes, you have two options. You have a compact and regular size class. And if you have a compact size class, you should design your user experience to reflect that behavior. Also, if you don't want to do it in the interface builder, you can listen programmatically to any trait change on trait collection did change method. And this method is actually passed around to all your view controller stack. Then you can respond to all these changes. Useful new IB features have been added in Xcode 8. View controllers are now rendered as actual devices, and they can be changed on the fly. You can use vary for traits option to define using constraint only for a specific size class, so you can have a completely different design for iPad and a completely different one for iPhone to reflect that user experience. And there's also new IB attributes like font to kind of allow you to customize your font depending on the size class that you've selected. So this is how it looks like actually. It's pretty cool because your storyboard will automatically reflect the behavior that you select here. So if you select the iPad, your storyboard will automatically translate all of your views to what would they look like in iPad. And also, there's the vary for traits options that if you select, for example, you want to vary for width and height, then you would only define these new views and constraints for those two size classes. A couple of useful trivia here as well. Asset Catalog now offers different options for customization based on the trait collections. And you can customize your UI appearance protocol with for trait collection option or appearance when contained in. So I think this is actually going to be really powerful, and this new IB features will make our lives much easier as we design our layout for our apps. So that's it. What I had, I would encourage you to try these features yourself and see how awesome it is in action.